Everybody, welcome to Monday morning class. Today we're going to talk a little bit about marbles and what to look for. You guys saw maybe that we had a few marbles in our last in-house auction that did quite well. So I am by no means an expert, but I have learned a little bit about marbles just in researching that collection. So I just wanted to touch on.
We're just letting it build.
Oh, okay.
So this will be just a second. So tell everybody who you are and what we're doing.
So I'm Jennifer. We are here at JD's Realty and Auction. We're doing our weekly Monday morning meeting class where we go over an interesting topic for the teams to learn a little bit about, something to look out for when they're out at estates doing their treasure hunts. We love what we do, so we like to be as educated as we can.
The purpose of today is to educate them. Yeah.
Yep. Purpose of today is to educate our team on marbles, or at least get a little bit of a taste of an education in marbles.
Cool.
Okay, so we're going to talk about what to look for, and specifically a small handful of specific types of marbles to look for, your most valuable ones. There are quite a few different categories of marbles, but like I said, we're just going to talk about the most valuable ones. So the picture here that you see is actually one that we sold at auction this past weekend or the weekend before. This is an Indian Lutz, and it's got the band of they call that Lutz, but it's actually either gold, copper, or mica flakes that they'll include in the marble. And that one sold for $120 for one little marble. So they are definitely worth looking for.
Somebody lost their marbles.
Absolutely. So as you can see, they are highly collectible. Marble collectors are looking for antique handmade marbles. Of these, the Lutz varieties are the most desirable. The Lutz marbles include banded Lutz, onion skin Lutz, ribbon Lutz, Indian, and mist Lutz. So this is an example of the Indian, as I said. And here you have the banded Lutz, the onion skin Lutz, and the ribbon Lutz. And then the other most desirable is going to be your Guinea Marbles. And according to Robert Kwok's Identification and Price Guide book, the world's best guineas are transparent marbles with colored flecks of glass, melted and stretched across the surface. The value of a guinea is affected by the number of colors on the surface and the intricacy of the pattern. We had a guinea in the auction this past week that sold for, I believe it was $150. So that did quite well. And this is what a nice, pretty box of brand new, still in the box, and original state guineas look like. So what to look for in a handmade marble. So all handmade marbles have at least one or a combination of one of several different pontils. A pontil is a point on a piece of glass, or a marble in this case, where the piece was broken off of the piece of glass cane or rod, or a punty, which is a metal rod in which it was formed. Pontils are either ground, rough, folded with melted creases, or a pinpoint. Pinpoints are a little harder to see because they are literally just a little pinpoint. Almost all marbles are cane-cut marbles, which means they're sheared off the end of a long cane of glass, which contains the design of the marbles and then is rounded. So you found a ground pontil, or you have one of these certain types of pontils. If you find a marble with one of these pontil features, that may indicate it is handmade and most probably antique. You can then determine the specific type and or coloring design from this point, of which there are a few, to say the least. And determining which specific design a marble is can be, for the layman and novice, tricky. Within each of these classifications, there are several other factors that will determine the value of a marble. Whether it's an end of cane marble, whether the base color of the marble is a certain specific color, and the core color. The mica, copper, and gold flakes included in the marble can also increase the value, as we saw with Lutz marbles. So that was my brief introduction into marbles and what to look for, at least for these specific types. And we can dive deeper into other specific types of marbles, but for right now, the most important ones for you guys to look for are going to be these Lutz marbles and the Guinea marbles. And then to look to see if they have a ground point on one side or if it's folded or creased. And then you'll know most likely it's an antique marble, because marbles made today are just machine made. They're put into little molds and they're nice and smooth and perfect for the most part. So, any questions?
I have a comment.
Have a comment?
We had to do a little bit of research
Yes.
with some of the marbles that we did in that
Advertising auction?
advertisement, a different one in-house, and I
Uh-huh.
read something about like sometimes you'll see like actual little chips in it, and
Yep.
you can tell where it's been played with, and apparently that makes it like for some people makes them more desirable too. So even if they're not perfectly round, you can tell that they've been really played with.
Yeah, I had a couple of marbles in that
People desire
in-house
that as well.
auction that were chipped, and they still brought $20, $20 and $30 respectively. So for one single marble that has some pretty big chips in it, I think $20 is a pretty good price for that.
Also, if you have a black light,
Yeah, there are like UV reacted. There's the cadmium and selenium and UV marbles too. Cause
Yep. Jason's got some marbles here.
Well, I was just wondering if you had any examples to show anybody.
Not in person because unfortunately these sold, but I can pull up my auction results and show everybody those.
Generally speaking, most marbles you find they're just new marbles. Nothing really special necessarily about. See if where's that? Hang on.
This is another, oops, why is it not? Hang on.
Where's that Blanton's jar that's got all those marbles in
Not the one that you sold?
No. Oh. So generally speaking, like you pass that around. That's not the whiskey bottle, but that's you can get that now. Yeah.
Say bye,
That's the
Jen.
marbles you're gonna run across.
Bye-bye. Thank you.